Coming up in this video, we make our way to the Southern Flinders Ranges where we have our annual family Easter camp get together. And it's there's a bit of dust, bit of rain and 4 seasons in one really whilst we're there, but we have a few walks and a lot of evenings around the campfire. I'm Mick and this is Sally. Together we've been caravanning Australia since the 1980s, and more recently we started to put the videos together just to show you some of what we see out there. There's a lot to see in Australia and we hope you enjoy what we have here to show you. You can follow us on our trips via the following social media platforms. It was a Thursday morning when we left home to start to head up to the Southern Flinders Ranges, but unfortunately there'd been a road accident on the Port Wakefield Road, so that meant that we had to detour, but a little bit longer to get there, a little bit rougher roads, but eventually we did get there. But it was amazing the amount of traffic that was already on the road. Thursday before Easter we thought we might beat some of that, but no, it was not the case. On the trip up, we were travelling with Dion, Sam and the grandkids, and we pulled in here at Crystal Brook, and it was there that we're going to go to the bakery, local bakery, nothing like a local country bakery, and grab something for lunch on the way up. Great number of trains would roll through Crystal Brook, being the main east-west, south-west and corridor for trains, and as we made our way to the main street we're now looking at the campground here in Crystal Brook, low-cost campground, and that's right along the train line, so you certainly wouldn't want to be affected in your sleep by the amount of train noise going down the road. But we got into the bakery and we weren't the only ones there trying to get something to eat. For the small distance that we had to travel on the dirt, it was very dusty, and all due to the dry season that South Australia is experiencing at the moment, but hopefully with a bit of rain that will all eventually settle. Now turning to go into the paddock of the campground, and it was quite evident once we got down there that we were well and truly not the first ones to arrive. It's Good Friday and we're here at our Easter camp, our annual Easter camp. Been coming here for many years, quite a few of us here and still a few more to come. Quite dry and might even finish up being a bit of dust around by the time the weekend's over, but never mind. It's supposed to be windy tomorrow being Saturday. Whether we'll get any rain, time will tell, but that's not going to spoil the fun. This was our 14th consecutive year coming to this particular spot, and it's only through the willingness of the people that own it, and of course their family members, Sue and Malcolm and Sean and so on, but that we've been able to come here and enjoy the time together as a family group. It's an ideal location for the size gathering that we've got, and we've got the trees all around us, and it's amazing that when you're sitting down and even sitting around the fire, how much those trees will act as a windbreak. You can hear the wind whistling over the top, and it can be quite calm down at ground level. It was fairly warm at the start of the Easter break, but as the days progressed it soon became fire weather, and it wasn't very long that Sean went up and he got the front end loader, come down with that, and that enabled us to load up some very large stumps one at a time on the fire, and they just burnt so hot and for so long. Once these stumps were on there and they caught alight, it was just beautiful to sit around and enjoy the heat that they threw off. These large stumps that we were putting on the fire certainly demonstrate the meaning of an all-day burner. Being able to burn such big stumps, it's amazing the amount of coals it generates during the burning process, and that's terrific for when you want to cook a wood barbecue. In the past we have seen some great sunsets here, but unfortunately for this trip, this one was about the best one that we did see. In a lot of ways the sunrises were nicer than the sunsets on this trip, but with a sunrise like this, it left us with a beautiful day. And it was on this occasion that we're going to walk, as the drone's flying now and looking up there in the distance, we're going to take a walk up to an old building just to have a look and see what it was like. As we made our way up towards the old building, the ground was very dry, and luckily for us, no wind, otherwise I'm sure we would have been chewing dust. With it being so dry, there's of course no feed about, and with that, no water in the dam as we approach the dam here. As we looked along the fence line here, we could see a trough in the distance, so we thought we'd go down and have a look just to see whether there was any water in the trough. Back over the bank of the dam, and it was time to walk onto the old stone building. As you approach old buildings like this, it really makes you wonder. There must be a lot of tales that can be told of the existence of people living in such conditions. Although the rainfall wasn't sparse, I guess it's not like it's a harsh desert, but I'm sure there'd be some stories to be told. Just the reality of collecting materials and building homes back in the era of this. Nothing like today where everything's manufactured for you and it's just a matter of putting the jigsaw puzzle together. At the moment, as our seasons progress and the years pass by, we seem to be getting less and less rain in these sort of areas, but really makes you wonder what sort of rainfall they had back in 100 years ago or something like that. But I'm sure it's all in a cycle, and eventually what they had then we will have in the future. It was time to head back towards the caravans, knowing that we'd had our morning exercise. It was the following morning when we went the opposite way this time for a walk, and that was down to a small dam. A little bit of water in this one, not much, but as before, up on the other way, no feed out in the paddock. As we walk down to the dam, we follow this little creek, and no doubt when the rain falls heavy, it would run water into the dam. Be interesting to know what a dam like this actually holds capacity-wise. Quite high banks, and I reckon it'll be pretty deep and hold a considerable amount of water when it was full. As we make our way back to the caravans, you can see the caravans there and the trees in the distance, not very far away at all, so only a short walk this one. As it was now Sunday and it was Easter time, it was time for the kids to have their Easter egg hunt and collect all the Easter eggs that Easter Bunny left for them. The weather had now changed for us. It had gone from those warmish sort of days that we started off with over the weekend into a colder, overcast day, and it was because of that we started to load the fire up earlier in the day, and it was a huge stump, this one that Sean was picking up to put on the fire. It just would not be possible to burn a piece of wood this size in a campfire as we had now, because it's just too heavy to pick up by hand, and having that front end loader, that allowed us to do it. And even once it was on there for the size of it, it took a bit to get going, so you had to put a few little smaller pieces around it, and that fueled it, and once it got going, absolutely beautiful. As a group, tonight was going to be our last night that we're going to be sitting around a fire together, and it was a nice evening, and we took advantage of that and enjoyed the fire as it slowly burnt down. After a great night around the fire, the following morning was Easter Monday, or the Monday of the Easter weekend, and unfortunately, majority of the campers here, it was time for them to head home. But it was a great weekend enjoyed by all, and that only left a small few that were able to sit around a small fire that evening and enjoy the last night before all of us actually had to leave and part company for another year. Well, this brings us to the end of our Easter trip, and it's really only a get-together for my family, or my side of the family. It's something we've been doing for many, many years now, and it's on the private property, so unfortunately it's not public camping ground. So even though it's in the Southern Flinders Ranges, it's not open to the public, so that's why I haven't put a map of exactly where we are, because there's no use putting that up. No one can go there. But hope you enjoyed what we've shown you, and a great little spot, and we're now off on our big lap. So if you want to see where we're going, we're actually in our first camping site at the moment, and north of Port Augusta. But if you want to follow us around as we go up to Darwin, down to Perth along the west coast and back to Adelaide, hit that like and subscribe, and follow us as we go. But until that first video does go up of our big lap, you take care and look after yourself.